nonetheless, this is still a pretty solid map for both teams. As far as we can see, NRG hasn't lost it, but we only have one map for them on that, and it's about 50% win rate for the likes of Complexity. So I want to see a lot of different things happen here.
Yes, in our encyclopedic research, we couldn't find too much research or information on NRG, but that's fine for us. You know, they're like in a very edgy anime tournament. They're one of those secret foes that you don't know anything on. They're all question marks. We're going to have to wait and guess to see what kind of craziness they can bring to the table on their defense for Haven.
I really got to say, I love that analogy, Keg. Probably the best one I can bring up as well. But nonetheless, we are going to get right in here. A perfect cross being held by Dapsnick. Seed's going to go ahead and take down Sharky as the opening pick of Haven happens now. Jonah and EU both taking shots. EU finding 2 now for his team as Ohai finds another 2 as well. Completely off and just completely shut down now. It's going to be back to a 2v2.
Yeah, overall, we've seen a very strong start from both teams. I mean, we can't say one team's in the pendulum or the other. Hello, dog. But right now, we see an even 2v2. Jonah have an inch of health left alive, and it's going to be up to the Phoenix long down the ways. Cole are able to find Jonah, put him out of his misery. But with the molly in the way, Ohai says, screw it, I'm going to go for it, and pushes on through. With a jumping headshot from the right, going to connect from the garage. Sam able to find Ohai. I guess you could say again, Ohai able to take them down. Beautiful work overall for the first round. NRG able to bring back the muster that they had won on all the pistol rounds so far.
Ah, that's exactly what they have done. And I mean, I guess at this point in time, we can say that it's not, any sort of, it's not any sort of map without my dog barking or making a sound at least once. So, there is that. Nonetheless, though, NRG finding their 3rd pistol round, I believe, of this matchup in this series so far. So they're staying solid on pistol, but they just need to make sure they continue that fire onto the next rounds.
I really hope they can bring it on to the next round. We have seen this dichotomy before, albeit it was the other way around, where NRG were on the attack on split and they won their pistols, but then they dropped 8 rounds in a row. Now, I'm hoping that doesn't happen again here, but NRG are nowhere to be seen on B. They're going to push on through on Complexity's side, able to blind everything out. Sam able to hold down the fort a little bit, knows that it's going to be on a B side plant, but where are all the people?
They're spread out across everywhere, Keg. Sam finding one now as the plant goes down. XP3 is going to fall. AGM, however, the Syrup takes down Exceed, and NRG, while lower on man count, definitely not lower on the gun count side of things. It's going to be a shot through the wall and a headshot at that for EU. Just barely on the corner. Molly's coming out now, and Jonah is going to be blinded as he takes down Sam. But a rotate from Daps will take down one, and just like that, the 2 remaining members are stuck up in window. They could double swing him, but no. EU is going to go ahead and find him through the wall. Jonah on the 3rd kill now. Ares in hand. There's not enough time with Jonah mirror mode spraying to the wall. It is now or never, and never it is going to be for EU as he falls back off the site. And Complexity are going to take round number 2.
It's going to be mirror mode, Sova versus Sova, but it looks like the superior Sova has won. 1-1 now. It's going to be the same exact storyline so far that NRG and Complexity have given themselves on split. We had seen the pistols won, Complexity wins the next round. Now, this round could make or break what happens next. If Complexity wins this next round, the story continues on as it did on Split, but if NRG on the defense right here can prove that they can break this cycle before it even starts, then I think this is a very good chance for NRG to put up a lot of rounds over Complexity.
Yeah, that is very true. This is going to be a very important round, but also a very aggressive round from the looks of it by Complexity as they just make their way down a long, and the Sova is going to fall back. No, someone's trying to push out of a short, though, out of sewer. Ohai is going to turn around and immediately find the refrag on the Kohler. EU, finding his way out of the smoke, will now take down Ohai. Refrag after refrag now, while NRG is still up and on defense. But C-Site, if you take a look at the map in the top left corner, is clear. There is nothing on board for them. No utility, no actual manpower on there. It's going to be all about the retake on C.
You're right, Kyle. Right now, C is completely for the taking on Complexity side. Able to get that plant down shore, and you gotta wonder, what is NRG doing? They're looking at the wrong angles. Of course, as that plant goes down, they realize, oh, this is where we need to go. and we see a very split team trying to find their way to move forward into tight little corridors to potentially either get a flank in the case of the Omen down below, or you have your Jet up above trying to make their way forward. The Hunter's Fury's nowhere even close to finding anybody, AGM's finding some, and suddenly EU is in a really bad predicament. It's gonna whittle down from there, however, a 2v2 turns into a 2v1, and Daps, the last one alive with only a frenzy in hand, needs to make that dragon roar! But it's only gonna do a small little growl as it finds XP3, sure, picking up the Phantom, I believe, and that is gonna be another win in the hands of Complexity. The story continues on, Kyle.
You know, this is the exact same thing that we saw on the last map. Ignore the paper flipping sound, but I want to flip over to the last page in notes. Now, NRG won their pistol round, and then Complexity just gave them a run all the way until round 10. Yeah, Complexity was up 7-3, so if we see, you know, same song, or second verse, same as the first, it's going to be a tough situation for NRG to come back from. Mind you, they're already down by one map, because Complexity won that first map. So NRG is going to have to pull it through here, and they have to take 2 maps now, rather than having to just worry about one more. So the question is, are they going to make it happen, though? As Ohai starts getting pre-fired, things are already very, very lightly looking up for NRG.
You know what? I'm an optimist. I really do think NRG can bring it back on Haven. I think so far they've had their defenses be decent on the pistol rounds, but from that last round where we saw that plant not really achieve a whole lot for the defense in the post, they struggled a lot. They realized too late what was going on, and Kyle, it's the same story again.
Yeah, it's the exact same thing over and over again. Now the spike is planted once again, but this is still a 5v5. There's been no opening kills, and the fact that complete site control is in favor of Complexity is huge. Now Blind's coming out though means that Kohler's going to be able to push his way in. Daps as well, finding one. That's going to be Kohler finding 2 now, finding 3, going huge for his team. No one's in that corner. Bona Pete is going to use the shock darts best he can, but going time for so long as the remainder of NRG pushes down A long, or C long at that. The Jet on top of the box finding Jonah after taking out 2 of NRG's teammates. However, that is going to be a 2-2 scoreline now for NRG. Not the same thing that happened last time, but beautifully played on the retake situation.
Yeah, overall, I do think Complexity played that a little too overconfidently. They didn't change their strategy a whole lot at all. In the grand scheme of things, they rushed on the C. They got the plan down, sure, that's more economy in their pockets, yes. But when it comes down to it, their post-plant was a little bit more sloppy. We had seen NRG ready for the take, and they did it. They successfully did it, and it was almost a comeback with that Ares plowing through many different people, but similarly, it looks like this might be an NRG round again. Jonah's able to do the same exact thing twice now, but that might be an indication of where that spike's going to end up being.
Yeah, you really have to weigh it here, saying who did you lose on both sides? You know, on one side, you lost your Sova and Phoenix. On the other side, you lost your Jet and your Omen. Something could be said for how this is going to play out, but if C is taken, Complexity is going to have every advantage here. From just what we've seen these past few rounds, NRG really likes to utilize their Sova in order to take control of the retake on basically any site. So the attempt to play a retake at all is going to be...
Oh, Daps right now, though, does not go for the flank. He's still playing it smart regardless. He was waiting to see if they're going to rotate around to C. It's too little too late for that, though. However, it's going to be up to nobody now. The smart play turns into a not-so-great play as Seed falls to the ground and dies. It's going to allow the spike to be planted from Complexity, and it looks like the slow and more passive state that the Omen wanted to go for ended up backfiring instead. The shadows go down, but it's going to be Sharky to embark himself inside of it, blend in with the shadows, and wait for the Omen to push. But it's around the corner. There's a box in the way, and the Purifier comes down. Dabs is able to redeem himself all within 30 seconds and get that defuse.
You know, you have the Phantom hand, you're close enough, you have 30 bullets in that gun. Why not pre-fire the one corner that you really just can't see? You know, you have enough time. He had 17.3 seconds left on top of that, which while time was definitely dwindling down for him, he still had plenty of time to make it happen. And the smartest place for Sharky to be was in that corner. But unfortunately for Sharky, Daps just read right through that, and that's going to hand NRG their 3rd round. Now, a lot could happen here. What's your thoughts, Keg?
I want to talk about Daps really quick from that last round. I think what he did for the most part was brilliant. He was able to go for his Omen teleport, his ultimate, if you will, towards the flank area of both A short and A long. He knew the rest of the team was there, but unfortunately he did cancel it out, and while it may have been good in the, grand scheme of things, he thought maybe it would have been too identifiable. Sure, we're on to a new round now, though, but that flank was potentially one of the best plays we have seen so far between the two teams. This time, though, it's a little bit of a slower round, Kyle. We do see the split push coming at just a tiny bit, a little bit of scouting onto A, but that spike's nowhere to be seen anywhere yet. They haven't made their decision.
That they have not. They do still have that spike down offsite, and that is perfectly fine. It is a viable pickup situation because where it is located is a key turning point between all three sites. Unless you're making your way through one of the links, you have to pass right by there. NRG Kohler, though, the head for NRG's team right now, what seems to be spearheading the kills, is going to go ahead and find the opening. Jonah looking for the refrag, but is not able to make it happen just yet. He's going to push his way up mid.
Run.
He's kind of the lone warrior right now, but with the Killjoy ultimate, the lockdown coming in play from NRG on A site, it's going to be tough for them. Could be a viable location. No, it's going to be on the other side of Link. It's going to push a lot of people off of this. No, 0 players denied. So that's spike still went down on A. It must have been a destroyed lockdown.
Yes.
Not 100% sure what happened there.
That's okay, because the lockdown did its job, so it kept everyone from NRG away, it warded them off, but now they have the man advantage. They're able to plow onto the site, and we see an absolute steamroll coming through a small little corridor, and that's going to be another round in NRG. I'm not sure what's happened with them between rounds, but it seems like maybe just overall, their defense is just better.
I've got to ask NRG, what
out of charges.
gaming chair are they using?
Yeah, let me just email them right now.
No, that's got to be the main question. No, it's either that or NRG is finally starting to wake up at the wheel. Now, they did for 8 consecutive rounds on the last map, but Complexity was able to outplay them for another large amount of rounds back to back. Now, I do have to make note that, like I said, this is an important map, and NRG getting a strong, really start off here, getting their foot ahead is going to be absolutely massive for them in the long run. Obviously, a lot can happen. Anything can happen. But Kohler's aggressiveness here is going to be the one thing that needs to try to make it happen. His ultimate comes out. He's going to go ahead and find one as Som finds another along C long. That's 2 people already well out of play without a single bit of damage. Well, I wouldn't say that. The Jet's not looking necessarily the hottest in terms of HP, but still a very significant advantage for NRG this round.
Oh yeah, absolutely. EIEIEU, though, however, is able to find 2, and that's going to be Som to finish things off with a tight little bow. Jonah falling, and NRG has been on a roll right now on the defense. Maybe it is the gamer chair. Maybe it's the gamer socks. Maybe it's a gamer thing, we'll never know. But so far, they have been on fire this game.
God, I mean, you want to talk about on fire? Phoenix, the man who's literally on fire, Kohler playing the Phoenix. Now, we've gone through 7 rounds now, and 4 of those, Kohler has been the opening kill, meaning he has gotten the first pick of the round. 4 rounds in a row. And even last round, he was just shy of getting that opening pick off of Som, but nonetheless, that was still very fast, very aggressive. That's exactly what we need to see from Kohler. Som! Speaking of aggression, finds yet another opening shot here. Silver's ultimate tries to find him, though, and Som's going to be taken down, but not for little long, as Kohler finds 2 more now. AGM walking his way in. It's going to be face to face with Daps. And in a matter of mere seconds, NRG wins another round.
These rounds are going too quick for us, but on a bit of a more meta note, this will be potentially the very first best of 3 going to map 3 that we see on this stream in the qualifiers.
Yeah, at least on our stream, because NRG has gone to 3 maps against Kudos, but to say the least, there's been plenty of 2-1s, plenty of upsets already.
Well, yeah, for us, duh.
Yeah, but for us, it's a completely different thing. We were casting Cloud9 Blue yesterday, Keg.
Hey, the Shorty Kings could have done it.
Shorty Kings very well could have done it. You are correct. Anything can happen. Let's be as one. Anything can happen indeed. AGM getting pre-fired to Oblivion.
Yeah, what was that? At the very top of the Omen smokes, AGM getting pre-fired upon, not able to recognize really where it's coming from, other than it's directly ahead. That's not going to stop the rest of Complexity, however. They're going to try to make their way through, but Kohler is able to lock on to 2 different people, get those headshots, and suddenly now Complexity's really ragtag full force aggressiveness is kind of working. But Sam is able to have the ultimate out, not able to find one, gonna push themselves away, able to find the two, and NRG still make it work. For a second there, that could have been a complexity round, but it looks like, you know, just getting mowed down in a small little corridor is the name of the game when it comes to complexity's attack.
I mean, I really guess that's all it's going to be for them right now. I mean, when it comes down to it, sure, there's a lot of absolutely miraculous things that happen, but Culver, yeah, anyone who's in chat right now, I'm kind of breaking out of, you know, just the casting box right now. Anyone who's in chat right now, yeah, go back and clip that for Kohler. Did you see that man link those two heads together? Kohler is not a force to be reckoned with.
He used the dead eye.
But neither is the rest of NRG. Oh, hi. Find a nice entry kill, though, as EU finds two?
A double kill, yeah. A double kill coming out from the Hunter's Fury. He's been able to make these Hunter's Furies work super well. In fact, both Sovas have been able to do an excellent job with it. But getting back more into the game itself, the grand scheme of things here, we do see that Spike making a long trek down C long again. This normally hasn't worked out very well for the most part for complexity, but with Dap's gone now, it's going to be the plan going down with really no resistance. Oh, never mind, resistance! Jonah able to find Siege, sure, Ohai goes down as well, but it's just a back and forth, pure bloodshed, as Kohler's the last one alive, and a lockdown is in play. Oh, I know how those lockdown orders feel, don't you worry, Kohler, but here's the thing though, he's not able to make it work. Jonah, with a 3K, secures the round, the first in a very long time of complexity getting an attacker round.
It took 7 more rounds for complexity to finally find a round. Now, where have we seen this before? Where have we seen this before? One team goes for 6 straight rounds, and the other team just takes it right up.
Oh, hold on, give me a second. Cloud9 versus Exotic. Oh wait,
no, last map.
Oh wait,
last map, Keg.
I know.
Okay, maybe not 6 straight rounds, but nonetheless, 6 very decisive rounds for complexity, and NRG swept it out from under them. Now, it could be another 7-5 half, or NRG could continue their advancement, but no, peeking like that, Psalm is going to get annihilated by Ohai, reading him, having his number like a book.
This is the second round in a row where we've seen Ohai completely destroy the other jet in the first second of the round with an operator in almost the same exact location. Not quite the same, but close enough. But A-Site is going to get a little frivolous right now. The Owl Drone's going to hit the tripwire. It's going to be freed up from A short, yes. But for the most part, we're going to want to keep an eye on to the Omen above in heaven because there might be a little bit of an engagement issue. He's not going to be in heaven. I stand corrected. He's going to be in hell like the demon spawn he is. But he's going to blind out the Cypher above to make sure no other damage goes down.
No more damage going down. The plant, however, is going down as Jonah is going to go ahead and get that down finally. However, Cypher's cam is going to go ahead and spot him out, but Exceed going to take a little bit of damage here. Man, we haven't seen much of. He's going to take some damage due to that shock dart. Speaking of darts, though, EU is going to go ahead and shoot out that recon dart. Jonah off-site, though, off-cam, is going to go ahead and take down Exceed. Shots being traded between each of them, but EU is going to find the win against Sharky. Down to a 2v2 now. Dax and EU have the perfect pinch on the side, but as do the other Omen and Sova. Now, down in hell, it's going to be XP3 finding a very important kill. Time is ticking away and grasping and falling out of the hands of EU. He does not have enough time to make this happen. He's going to fall back, but could get caught by the opposing Sova. He does, but down to 5 health now. He's going to want to try to stall this Sova. He tries to find a kill. No, he's running away, and Jonah is caught by the spike. And even though Jonah may be caught by the spike, but Jonah and XP3 are going to win the round for complexity and bring it now to 7-4.
So something interesting to note is for the last 2 rounds that complexity have won in a very long time, both of those have been an opening pick for against Sam. Sam has gone down twice. Now, I'm not sure if that's a direct correlation or if it's maybe just causation, but overall, having the beginning of your defenses with only 4 people pretty much right off the rip has a huge ripple effect on the entire round.
That very much does, especially with an op nonetheless, a very important. A lot of people would like to build strats based around the op itself. Some potential headshots here. Speaking of the op, Colors almost gets his head taken off by it, but instead Ohai will miss the shot. Jonah trying to find some kills with his Hunter's Fury, not able to connect the shots fully though, dealing a little bit of damage, but not entirely as Daps is down on health slightly. The opposing Sova not taking any hit from it though.
This is another story we've seen time and time again on Complexity's attack. C is completely free, and they're gonna go for it. But a lot of the times we have seen, especially early on with these plants going down on C, NRG were just not there at all for the entire plant situation. It looks like now there is some effort. EO does go down. Dash is able to find Sharky, yes. But the flanks from the top of the site, from below and even the sides are now being much more aggressive, despite all the site visibility denial and everything in the way. Ohai's able to find Dabs. This is a really good round and lead for Complexity. It's a matter of whether or not the flank will be successful, and Kohler finds Ohai. The answer could be a solid maybe. Now, Kyle, I'm curious to hear at the end of this round how you break this down, because against all odds, this is an NRG round.
Well, here's the thing. We have seen Complexity go to the site multiple times, and I don't believe a single time we have seen them win. And why is that? There is one key agent who has been on board that has helped them every single time.
Cage triggered.
Mainly that one being Sova. However, Sova being dead here has already expended his utility to help them get back on the C site. Now, having both Sova and Cypher means you have two different pieces of pretty heavy intel that you can utilize. So you have a cam, you have recon darts, you have a drone, you have trap wires, plenty to watch for rotates, and plenty to enter on the site with. So playing C for the retake is going to be the easiest. There's the least amount of tight corners you can hold. There's not a lot of very closed areas by any means. And when I say that, I mean C is very open, and plus it's the only site where there's 3 main ways to get into it, and none of those are any less contested than the others: CT, garage, and long.
And they're going for it again. Honestly, that's not a bad strategy.
Sides have switched.
Oh, but still, they're going for it again one way or another. We're seeing the same exact strategy plan out for NRG's side. They've seen how it works against them, despite them winning against it in the very first pistol rounds. Overall, let's hope that we can see maybe a little bit of differentiation going on here. Dabs, though, getting the plant, but we see able to find Ohai. The pistols are going to be a little bit more interesting overall. We've seen a little bit more of a dichotomy in a much slower round. No one has that superior weaponry to knock people down in a single headshot. This is going to be more slower, more calculating, more tactical for both teams.
Placing swarm grenade.
What's going to be, but the retake once again being played from Complexity now. Flash is coming out, blinding to Killjoy. Kohler and Dabs both in progression take down a lot of people. I can't even list off all those names as the rest of Complexity is just eliminated piece by piece.
Piece by piece, indeed. We see a complete dismantlement going on. That is such a hard word, dismantlement. But when it comes down to it, it's another round in the favor of NRG. They've figured out strategy, it seems, and if they can keep it going, we could easily see map 3. Complexity, though, we've seen this situation before where NRG was in the same exact boat. It's almost a reversal. It's almost like mirror mode, if you will, of Split.
Yeah, I mean, more or less, but there was no real comeback, no real pendulum swing from Complexity except for 2 rounds, and Energy was very, very quick to shut that down. It's not the comeback by any means yet, at least, but EU may be mixed up with ACU from Sentinels. Rather, EU for NRG is taking names and taking heads off of bodies with that first initial pick.
Yeah, that's what you gotta do. I mean, you gotta get that opening pick. We've seen the jet on jet opening pick work out and turn the tides of a round almost completely. Seed's able to find XP3, the Omen's gone, but it is just a slaughter fest inside the sewers. Ew, kind of gross. But overall, it's going to be a 2v3. The defenders are down a person, and it's going to keep on whittling down. The pressure's now on Ohai almost exclusively. He has the classic in hand, but he cannot get away. Once you're tagged, you slow down, and you can pretty much say that round goodbye.
You know, I don't want to sound rude here, but if Ohai got that triple shot off, that Omen was dead to rights. I don't know what it is about jumping and using that, the right click on the classic and getting that triple shot off, but boy, is it something to not be messed with. It has some, an insane accuracy buff that, instead of your shot going, 5 feet to the left, like it usually would when you're jumping, instead it just hones in on its target. I swear, it's like targeting rounds almost. But speaking of rounds, now we're getting into the next one, round 15, as NRG is up 10-4.
I was just informed it's EU. My bad. But overall, EU has done a great job so far in this game anyways. We see the aggressive plays coming on to C right off the rip, and with that spike going down, Som is not playing any games. There's no old McDonald this time, unlike, I guess, previously in the games. But this time around, it's going to be a much more serious affair. XP3 is able to find that jet, sure, but the rest of the defenders are seemingly just as lost as NRG were on the defense. There's no real clear-cut answer of how to get onto the site and retake it. XP3 seems to have a complete stranglehold going through, able to take down Crawler and so many different bodies on a rip. But they're not going to stop. They're not going to give up. And in fact, the aggressive plays do take down Daps. It's going to be a back and forth, and so far the attackers are losing the ground.
When you have 2 left all the way down here and 4 people on board, make that 3. Make that 2, rather. The Spike Diffuser was killed. EU and Exceed going massive for their team, winning out the round. You know, I'm just going to eat my own words here. I was just about to say it's not the easiest for them to hold from back here, especially in a 2v4. But when you have EU out here getting collaterals, it's a completely different show. And nonetheless, Exceed putting in absolute work as well.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just impressed overall. Overall, I really thought NRG would have had that round, and they still did over everything. I mean, it's not something you see too often where you're down the man advantage and you can still bring it back.
Get out of my way!
No, not at all. Not in the slightest way possible. But, you know, Complexity here very well could bring it back, rather.
They could bring it back, and I'm really hoping we do get to see that. Kohler is able to find AGM and High Falls as well. NRG are not playing any games right now. They're able to fill that kill feed with red against the enemies of them, and with only 1 left alive now, Jonah, who had a full squad at his disposal not even 10 seconds earlier, is now kind of lost. He could push up, he could go for a flank, and at this point, there's not really much you can to lose. You're just having a classic in your hand. Other side of the map has the spike going down. You can pretty much seal the deal on this round.
You very much can here. NRG is basically going to push himself to match point unless Jonah can pull something extraordinary out here. But missing 6 of those sheriff shots with someone coming in behind him is not going to be that. Exceed's going to finish him off, and now NRG is going to be onto match point, but not series point yet. As a reminder, Complexity did indeed take map number 1, so we could see map 3 very, very soon.
We're either going to see map 3, or we're going to see one of the greatest comebacks in probably the entire qualifier, but Complexity needs to triple their round count to even hit overtime at the moment. They need to play flawlessly here on forwards, and NRG, well, they're sitting nice and tight. They only need 1 more round.
Yeah, that's all they need, you know, unless we can have Complexity just come back over the course and take 8 straight rounds, which, while not impossible, that's exactly what NRG did, just not on match point. It really could swing either way here, but things are not looking out for the side of Complexity in the slightest.
Yeah, it's not looking great for Complexity right now, and, you know, what can you really say? Going on the defensive Haven's not the easiest thing in the world, but the plan is in motion for NRG. They seem to have it down pat. We see the encroaching on a site. The Killjoy AJM could be in a very interesting and maybe even possibly lucrative position depending on how Seed plays this round. But there's more than one body on the other side of that sewers, and they're able to find 1 or 1.5 if you will into a 3! AGM's able to turn that around into a triple kill, and suddenly Complexity is back in the game. EU is the last one alive now, and he has the whole team to face up against. But with a 4K coming out from AGM, the playmaker of the team, it seems, able to keep themselves in the game just a little bit longer. And that flawless gameplay we said that needs to come out for Complexity may very well become a possibility.
It very well could be that, but when it comes down to it, there's only one thing I can say about that round. It's that AGM made it happen. He did what he needed to do, really focused down on the round, and was able to link a nice set of kills together. But that is round 1 out of 8 on this uphill battle for Complexity to win out this map.
I mean, I feel like we just need a breather right now. It's like, you can feel the tenseness in the air between the two teams. NRG have so much they have riding on this game right now. A lot of trialing members, old dogs we mentioned, new tricks, and the bodies are starting to fall. But there's not much time left, it seems, if this can continue going on. NRG is able to find 2, Som getting a double kill. and there's only 2 left alive on the side of Complexity. It's gonna be down to the Sova and the Killjoy. The lockdown sure is in play. The spike, however, goes down, and these defenders are in the middle of the ultimate. They're not able to get too much going on, but E was able to find AGM, and Jonah wants to make the play to bring it back. Last one alive, spike seemingly in hand, no bodies are around, but they're down across on yonder. They were waiting for that sound, Casey. That sound goes through, and there it is, the bait of the century, it seems. But they're just playing around.
That's what they're doing. Jonah being caught on the left, though. He's going to try to go back for Som, but no, he does not. That's now round 18. Going to the hands of Energy and pushing us on